It's time to take a ride on the Steelers Afternoon Drive with our co-hosts, Alan Saunders and Zachary Smith.
Welcome into another Steelers Afternoon Drive. I'm Zachary Smith. That is Alan Saunders. Alan, how are we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Wait a minute. We got something off already. Why is it not? There we go. For whatever reason, the headlines weren't shown. We got to know, for the people that are watching, this way they can follow us on our social medias without
Otherwise,
us.
how would they know who we are? I mean, we're not famous enough to get our tweets read on the Pat McAfee show or anything.
There we go. I was wondering how early in the podcast. If you didn't bring it up early, I was going to bring it up towards the end, but there it is. Yeah. Which, by the way, I saw that was, I feel like that consumed pretty much all your morning and afternoon was the conversations with people on Twitter regarding that same tweet that got thrown on there. So maybe you have the people in your mentions to thank for that gaining so much traction and then ending up on the Pat McAfee show.
Oh, 100%. That's the job here. You got to keep the story going.
Mm-hmm. Alan, yesterday we mentioned sometimes like this thing just happens on the fly. We don't come into it knowing what we're going to talk about. And then we get on here and shortly before we decide what we're going to talk about, well, no better indication than today's episode where we literally had no idea what we were going to talk about. I said, hey, should I throw up a tweet about doing a Q&A episode? And you were like, wait a minute, we haven't done the dueling mock draft stuff yet, which we always want to do before we get to the actual draft. We're a week and a day out at the time of recording this, so it feels like a good time to do it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go back and forth doing mock drafts. I will be using Pro Football Network, PFN, right here. This is my screen that you will see when I'm making my selections, and then I will remove this when I'm not making my picks, and I will add Alan to the stage, which is using everybody's favorite website, PFF,
including my personal favorite. You know, I give them so much grief. I will say that I do use their mock draft simulator a lot, and I think it's quite good. So,
So the thing with them is if you don't have a subscription, I believe you can only do 3 rounds, which is why.
Well, everybody knows I'm a subscriber, so throwing that out there.
Of course, one of the biggest supporters, always have been. Nothing but nice things to say about them. So I don't want
to just I haven't talked about this on here. We just hired a new member of our team at SteelersNow.com recently, Spencer Thomas, the young guy from Duquesne. We'll get him on the pod here probably after the draft sometime soon. And he wrote a story today about the Steelers. The PFF's draft guide had some interesting Steelers comps, including comping Cam Ward to Ben Roethlisberger, Jackson Dart to Kenny Pickett, and
a lot of guys in there.
And Shedeur Sanders to Teddy Bridgewater, which is not exactly what you want to hear if you're picking that guy in the first round. Anyway, he wrote the story, and of course, young guy just getting started, going over the story with him, and he had not linked to the PFF guide. I was like, you got to link to him. We hate him, but not like that much. Like, you got to give him the link. Like, we're not criminals here. Like, he's still still got to throw him a bone.
I gave Spencer some grief immediately when he got thrown into the group chat. I said, what's going on, Spencer? I'm Zachary, but you can call me Zachary. So then I texted him separately to, further expand upon that and tell him I wasn't serious. But anyways, shout out to Spencer. We'll get him on here in the very near future. But I think it'd be, too much time in between if we were just both, if I were to go through all of mine and then you go through yours. I think it's best to go back and forth here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Round by round. So, I don't know. You want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Dealer's choice. All right, I'll go first. So I'll add myself to the stage here. I already kind of started this. That first pick wasn't made yet, but I set this up already. 7 rounds, obviously only picking for the Steelers. Normal speed because slow is way too slow. And if it was fast, I don't know if I would see who was even being selected. But let's go. All right. Chalk so far. There goes Shedeur to the Saints. So I will say, in doing a couple different simulations on Pro Football Network, there was one time out of several simulations where Shedeur fell to me. Saints typically take him. The Colts have taken him in some simulations at 14. And then if not, 18 to the Seahawks has been pretty consistently the floor. But there was one time where I got him to fall to 21 to see how that played out. I guess I should have asked this before we started. In terms of do we do trading?
We traded last year. Yeah, if I remember right.
I guess from is this more of a what we would do or realism blending?
These are ours.
Together?
These are ours.
Okay.
These are who can do better.
So this is fully all right.
Yeah.
I got complete reign here. I will say what I don't like about some of the often is I can just immediately decline a trade because I don't care about this 2026 pick right now if I'm not making it. So
ooh, but I kind of do like the 2026 pick for the Steelers.
Sure, yeah, but I'm trying to. Well, no, you're right because the audience, I'm sure, would also appeal to them. I'm trying to do best by the audience here, really, so I can win.
The audience would appreciate another 2026 second.
Yeah. Okay.
The audience would not approve trading with the Ravens.
This is the Ravens, but you want that second round pick back this year.
One or the other. I mean, that's a nice trade there. I think that's exactly what I was talking about yesterday, where you trade back in the first round, and then you add a fourth to make it a second.
Yeah. Let me see the board here real quick. So Harmon's still there, Emmanuel's still there, Walter Nolan's still there. Book is still there. I mean, I don't want to take Jackson Dart, but he is there. Hampton's there. I'm going to take this trade from the Ravens.
I like that trade. I like the whole idea of this trade.
And it was for Tyler Booker. Derek Harmon goes one pick after. Oh, dang. I think they would have really liked if I could get Ibuka there. All right, well, hey, the Cardinals still want to make this exact same trade.
6 picks later, you're getting everything you were getting before.
This is another 3 spots. I'm getting 109. I'm giving 229 back. I don't know if because I want to blend realism in with this. Are the Steelers gonna move back twice in round 1?
I mean, probably not. But Kenneth Grant's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily trade back between Grant.
I could.
Nolan.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'm doing it.
Worry.
I'm trading back again.
I think, and look, the only one you lost was Amen Worry. I don't know if I would go 4 more.
No, picks. I'm picking Kenneth Grant at this spot after a couple trade downs. I'm going
trade down to 30 and get Kenneth Grant. That's going to be tough to do better than, I think. I'm a big fan of your draft so far. And in this competition, that's not really where you want to be.
All right, so I'll remove my screen here, and I will add your screen to the board here.
All right. And we're getting set up here. All right. I have this on. It's not the slowest speed because I feel like the slowest speed's frustrating.
Oh, yeah, there's a little different in terms of speed. Yeah.
But I think we'll still be able to follow along here. Cam Ward, Hunter. Shador number 3.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah.
Abdul Carter 7th. The Jets. Man.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Doing them on different sites, we could have vastly different boards available to.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Yeah. All right. Well, I've got all the D tackles. I've got Egbuka. I've got Colston Loveland, who apparently PFF just does not like. He's down the board.
That's actually surprising to me because he's to me, the prototypical PFF should be propping him. The production wasn't necessarily there because of quarterback play, but the tape's phenomenal and the advanced numbers love him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, let's look at the trade offers here. Let's see what I got. 4 picks back to Houston. Oh, I've got a bunch. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And who do I have? I have all 3 D tackles. I have Egbuka.
Yeah.
I guess I could take Loveland. Not sure there's another player I really want in the first round here. Luther Burden, I'm just not a fan, to be honest. Hampton, I would not if they do this, I'm gonna crap all over it. So I can't be the guy doing it. All right.
Yeah.
Let me go 4 picks. I think I can make 4 picks. It's a bit of a risk. What do I get for it here? Same deal, I would imagine. Oh no, I can't even get into the second round.
Wait, so isn't this saying? I thought that 5 buy it was saying you had 5 trade offers for this pick.
Yeah, I do. It's 25, 26, 28, 27, 28, and 36 are the teams that are willing to trade up.
Oh, but it's not you still have to offer it to them.
I still have to make what I want. Yeah, they're just saying we'll take it. I can just straight up get 79, probably.
Wow. Okay.
All right, I'll take that. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And I lose Grant. and Igbokwe. Now do I want Nolan or Harmon? I don't want to trade back again because they're really the only guys left here I want to take. Unless it's one spot. No, it's not. Okay.
Wait, where's Harmon?
Harmon, PFF has moved down in its latest ratings. He's
Oh, wow.
31.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I really like both of these players. I think they're both going to be really good. I think Derek Harmon just feels more like a Steeler to me. And now that I've traded down, I feel like the value is probably better than taking him at 21. So, like, I think trade down and take Derek Harmon is one of the absolute, like, top plausible Steelers outcomes. So I like this from a realistic perspective, and I would like it myself. So we're going Harmon here.
And what was it? You got a third back, right? 79?
I got a third back for my trade down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like a mid-round third. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Add myself back here. More trades come calling. The Jaguars want me to move down 11 spots, get 107, give back 185. And then Buffalo giving me a fourth next year to move back 3 spots. Man, the 2026 capital would just be
popping,
cracking up. Walter Nolan's still on the board. Travion Henderson's still on the board. Jalen Noel. I mean, there's quite a few like Steelers interest in some form or fashion guys here.
Zaria Thomas, Quinshon Judkins,
both.
Man, the second round of this draft is really where I want all my picks to be honest. Most of the players I really like for the value of where I think they're going to be taken are happening in the second round.
And this was a pick that I didn't have. So this is, just gained this back. Not that far removed from their original second round pick. I'm going to go with their second to last pre-draft visit that came in. Travion Henderson is my pick here.
I was just going to say I would have a hard time walking away from Henderson there. It's too good of a running back.
Yeah, I know that those trade downs weren't that many spots, but I don't feel great about him still being on the board if I do so, despite the fact he's already made it this far.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you got me over here.
Yep.
I'm going to have 2 third-round picks back-to-back at 79 and 83. I do like Kevin Winston a lot. The Steelers didn't show any interest in him. I don't know. They did show some interest in Andrew Makuba.
Yeah.
If you want to go DB.
Do you think, they would have had to have known Winston was doing stuff, something like running, right? Like, I think the lack of people at Penn State for that was because they knew, there wasn't many guys testing and stuff. I was just curious if they even had the heads up, like, hey, he's going to be running. But I assume that they would have.
Yeah, they would have.
Yeah.
I really like Jalen Noel here. Tate Ratledge is a player that I don't think we've talked about hardly at all. I do really like him. And I don't. Damian Martinez,
100% a guard though, right?
Yeah, 100% a guard. This feels early to me for Damian Martinez. I like him. I don't think I third round like him. I like Jordan Phillips here. Charles Grant's a player that's shown a lot of interest in. Probably a little early for DJ Giddens. Definitely early for Devin Neal, despite my love for him.
With where your 2 picks are, though, you're really looking at this board for 2 players.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I do have a trade. I don't think I'm that interested in moving down here. I don't really know which way to prioritize the positions here. Like, running back is the big need, but I don't love the board at running back. Harvey, Martinez, Giddens, Neil Blue, Etienne Hunter. Man, running back's been picked over. Man, Bashul Tutin's way underrated here.
Yeah, I wonder where that run happened on your board for running backs, because it's interesting because PFN they'll slide on there. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Henderson and Judkins and Caleb Johnson all going in the second round, and then Hampton had gone right before my previous pick. I don't know. I don't love RJ Harvey. I do like Damian Martinez. I just feel like more of a 4th rounder.
Sure.
Same with Neal. Same with Blue. Giddens, I don't know. I'm not in love with it. I think with this extra pick, I'm just going to go pure BPA and take Kevin Winston. I don't know. He's such a duplicate of Deshaun Elliott. It's not that useful for the Steelers. I actually don't love the board I've got here. I'm going to take Ratledge, man. I just think or Jalen Noel. Jalen Noel's a really good fit. I'm going to try to get them both, but there's only so many offensive linemen I like in this class.
Who's picking after you? Colts, Cincinnati, Seattle. Is that Seattle's logo? I'm just like trying to think which one you feel like would be more likely to get poached.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's more wide receivers later. Like Savion Williams is still on the board. Jalen Royals, Kyle Williams. I kind of like all those guys to some extent. There's no other guard I like more than. I'm taking Tate Ratledge. I'm doing it.
Okay.
And Noel gets back to me, and I'm taking him next.
Okay. Yeah, I just left it on your screen. Figured you could
both of those. Feel free to go ahead back over to you.
All right. Remove Allen. Add myself. I know that I saw a trade call coming in here. Let me take a look at it. Jacksonville is hell bent on making a trade with me in this mock draft simulator. Like, they're offering every single round. They're making a call, trying to get this done. That first time GM. Moving back 5 spots here, but I'd move up 30 spots from 156 to 126. Oh, man. I haven't drafted a receiver yet. It's very enticing to not trade.
Oh, man. Iron is a really good player for where you're at, man.
Yeah. I feel like he's the only guy that I'd like in this spot, like based off what I've already picked. Yeah. I mean, I'm enticed by that. I would just be very concerned he goes within the next 5 picks. Heck, Jacksonville might be coming up to try to take him. What have they picked so far? Yeah, they haven't taken a receiver yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not trading. I'm just taking him.
I'm a big fan of your draft so far. It's worrying. It's worrying. It's just as someone who wants to try to win this thing.
The stakes are high.
All right. I feel like I now need either running back or quarterback in the 4th round here. Damian Martinez goes 1 pick before me. First few Denver Broncos. That absolutely would have been the pick.
Wow. The Broncos waited that long to take it back, though. Like, they're being talked about as, early as the 1st round, potentially for a Travion or Hampton or something.
I do like Jaden Blue. I do.
Yeah. They might have him, if they draft Jaden Blue, he might just be carrying a football around the entire time from the draft to when training camp starts, though. Get those fumbles under.
I don't think I can get away from Will Howard in the 4th here.
Ooh, okay.
I just think that's...
I mean, again, like, marrying the idea of what they would do, predictability, I feel like that's...
Like, Tyler Shook on the board is interesting, too. I think most people would pick Shook before Howard. I don't really think I would, though.
Do you think the Steelers would?
Quinn Ewers is there too, man. I can just hope that there's a quarter. Brady Cook is starting to get properly rated. Is there what have I picked so far? Lineman, wide receiver. So I need a corner still too, or a safety. Let's see what's there. Noel Williams, Billy Bowman, Jordan Hancock, Robert Longerbeam, who I trashed on Twitter today. RJ Mickens is good. It's way too early for him, though. I do like Jaden Blue. I do like Will Howard. I kind of like Zy Alexander, too. I really like Quincy Riley. Zaw Frazier.
Some level of interest in all these guys. I mean, whether it was just like seeing him at Senior Bowl or
yeah. I'm not gonna go like totally, even though this is supposed to be mine. I'm not gonna pick some player I like that the Steelers have shown no interest in. I think I can wait on running back one more pick. I'm taking Will Howard.
Okay.
I think of the non certainly good quarterbacks, he's the one I'm the most interested in. If you could if you could just get a whole season of the college football playoff, I'd be very interested to see what that would look like.
Cincinnati. Okay, they're trying. Okay, now like the comments really might hate me if I make 2 different trades with 2 teams in the division. Sliding back 10 spots here to move up 32 spots. And what would be not my next pick, but the one after that. Yeah. I could take Will Howard on mine as well. I like Ty Felton, but I just took a receiver. I like Jalen Reed a lot.
I do like Jalen Reed.
Jordan Phillips, I could go with a double dip at DT. There's Quincy Riley. Jamari Caldwell, I could go with a double dip at DT. Him. Yeah, I'm going down too far now. I don't know. I mean, I'd say my short list here would probably be Howard, Jalen Reed, and one of the D tackles.
What have you drafted so far? A D tackle, a wide receiver, and a running back.
Yeah, Grant Henderson and Ayomanor.
Man, that's a really good first 3 picks.
I know. Yeah, I'm feeling really good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble. I feel like I lost last year too.
156 is my next spot. Like if I knew,
you could take that trade back.
Yeah. What was it again? I'm moving back to 119. So 10 spots there. I think I'm going to do that. And just hope that, the board will figure out where I need to go. Maybe somebody takes one of those quarterbacks and makes my mind up for me. Or none of the players. Okay. All right. Jalen Reed goes. So. All right. I'm making a pick here. I'm just going to take Will Howard.
So even when you take the same guy as me, you traded down and got him at a later pick. So you're
yeah, Alan. I mean, I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to declare a win here. Early,
I got a lot of making up to do here in the 5th round. Here,
day 3 is going to be big for you.
All right, what do we got here? I got Kyle Williams, who I love. I already have a wide receiver. I need a running back or a DB here, almost certainly. I guess I could double dip at D-line. Trevor Etienne is, I think, kind of getting slept on a little bit. And I think this is good value. Steelers at his pro day. What's the trade? Oh, that's a long way down. Never mind. I'm sticking to taking Trevor Etienne.
Okay.
I think him and Jalen Warren can work well together.
All right. All right, this seems like a double dip at D tackle spot here for me now.
Oh,
Caldwell's still there.
And Piggies. But you took Grant.
Yeah.
So you don't need another nose tackle type.
Yeah. Elijah Roberts
might be the move. It's funny, like Piggies is, I'm pretty sure in mine, Piggies went like the 3rd round.
Really?
He was very early.
Yeah.
Early fourth.
Wait, why did... Okay, I'm not even actually up right now, though. What the heck? Okay, Roberts went. I wonder why it paused a couple picks before me.
Oh, that
sucks. Roberts
you could have Tony Dungy's pick there, Dylan Gabriel, first rounder.
Yeah,
somebody else was on Twitter yesterday or the day before, and I was like, they're saying like they have Dylan Gabriel as like QB3 in this draft. And I just like, and then somebody reminded me of the.
Oh yeah, it was Mike Renner, right? Who I actually like really enjoy his stuff.
Yeah, and then somebody reminded me of the screen grab of me like with my hands on my face from like I don't remember when it was. I think it was on Orlando talking about Dylan Gabriel, and
I don't know what to do here because I mean Caldwell to me or Padiz is easily like the best value, but because like the next guy that I'd be looking at is somebody like I saw Zaw Frazier still on the board down here. I think, I think Zaw Frazier would probably be the guy I would want, and I feel like I could get him at 156.
Yeah,
Justin Wally's still there too, who they've shown interest in.
How about you in safety? You haven't taken,
no.
Yeah. Kind of checked all the other boxes, right? You got quarterback, D line. You go offensive line,
right? Yeah. I mean, do I take Seth McLaughlin? Play him at guard.
Tommy Hill's an interesting corner. Noah Strackbine pointed this out at the combine. The man has like non-cornerback looking face. He just looks like he's like, if you look at his headshot, you're like, that's a D tackle. And then you're like, oh no, that's a corner. What the heck?
Did they show interest in him at all though? I haven't really heard.
No.
Yeah.
No. But it's fifth round? I mean,
I'm just taking the value here.
Double nose.
Oh, wait, I'm up again. I forgot about this.
Double nose tackle.
I moved my 7th. This is my last pick. So with that being said, even though he's a little bit further down the board here, I'm going Zaw Frazier. Okay.
All right.
And I will come back and look at mine at the end of this and go over it. But
all right. I have just to refresh D-line, O-line, wide receiver, quarterback, running back. I need a DB at least and maybe a second D tackle. And I've got Ty Felton is still here. Jeez, like him. Oh, and Dante Thornton. I should have waited on wide receiver. All right. Ty Robinson's there. Cameron Jackson. Now, I took Harmon. So Cameron Jackson, who's just a gigantic guy, to me could be interesting as a double dip at D tackle. Mickens as a safety here starts to look interesting. Malachi Moore, this feels way early for him. I do have Zaw Frazier there. Steelers sent Anthony Midget to the Florida Pro Day. I think Jason Marshall, like 7th round pick, something like that, is someone we should keep an eye on. I think it's going to be Cameron Jackson. Do I want him or Ty Robinson? Ty Robinson is smaller. 6'6", 310. 122 on the PFF big board. Cam Jackson is 6'6", 342.
Good God. Ty Robinson's the dude that ran real well, right? From Nebraska.
Yeah. I just feel like I took Harmon. He's more of like an up the field guy. Give me the giant. Give me all 342 again. Dude, the fact that like Florida ever allowed a single rushing yard with Cam Jackson being the smaller of their two defensive tackles, like is actually kind of alarming. But we'll go with him here. And then you're done. You don't have another one?
Right. Yeah, correct.
Can we speed this up? Aha. Turbo. Oh, look at that. RJ Mickens is still there, and I haven't taken a safety yet. Well. RJ Mickens it is. All right. Can we get them both up here? Can we do that?
No. It pretty much is before presenting a screen, you must remove the other screen.
Okay. Well, there's mine. There's my haul. I got Harmon, Ratledge, Knoll, Howard, ETN, Jackson, and Mickens. I think this is a good.
Does that say a C- or a D for Harmon?
A C- for Harmon.
Okay,
not a fan of Derek Harmon. I like this draft. If the Steelers do this, I will say it's good. It's not great, But I mean, I think you got like two really good starters in the trenches. A guy who's like probably an above average piece at wide receiver. I think a really solid piece at running back. Kind of like an interesting dart throw who was at worst a good backup at quarterback. A nose tackle so Keanu Benton doesn't have to do it anymore. And I think like kind of a good playmaker at safety in RJ Mickens. I think this is a good draft. I also think I'm going to lose.
I'll say I think that this looks better with you getting that extra. Like, you didn't just take Harmon at 21. I think getting that extra third round pick.
Yeah, I got Ratledge and Harmon. Like, that's like, if you take Ratledge out of this draft, it's not nearly as good. Getting the extra pick really helped.
Let's take a look at mine. Very different presentation, by the way, on here as opposed to PFF as well. So first round moved down to 30. Actually traded back twice to get to that spot. Kenneth Grant still on the board there. We've talked about
I think you got a better player than I did in the first round, 5 picks later. So nice job there.
Trevion Henderson in the second round, a pick that I did not have, was able to get a second round pick for moving back the first time. So yeah, obviously check that running back box. That what a room. I would feel really good about a room of Henderson, Jalen Warren, and Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, that turns what was a big question mark into a big strength over the course of the offseason. Sliding down to 83 and still there. A wide receiver that we've talked about a ton, Alec Ayomaner. I love that value. In fact, he was still on the board, I think. Pretty insane. Both took Will Howard. I just took him at pick 119. Same thing you said. I mean, if you were just taking, it was a small sample size, but if you could take any 4-game stretch for a quarterback coming into 2026, he had the best one during the college football playoff. Is that a sign of a continuing ascending player, or are we not going to see that level of play from him again? I think that's the big question.
Maybe he's just clutch, which is not the worst thing in the world to be either.
Sure. We said a lot of similar things in that regard to a quarterback that we just had here a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, honestly, Jamari Caldwell at 153 to me was just about the value more than anything else. Really would to have loved to have gotten a different body type along the defensive line, but the way that the board fell, I wasn't going to pass up on the value there. We'll see how things shake out. And then finally, Zoff Frazier, the cornerback out of UTSA, who I think is very intriguing and certainly has all the tools. But obviously, with where you're taking, you're not expecting the return on investment to necessarily start in year one and him be a full-time player. So, but yeah, I would be extremely happy with this being the draft haul, but I'd also be extremely bored pretty early on day 3 of the draft. No picks after 156.
Yeah, that's interesting how that played out for you. I like the depth I got, I think, because from having more picks. I think RJ Mickens to me in the 7th round is a really good pick. Yeah. You got some work to do in UDFA, but I think I'm losing hard from the first 3 picks. Well,
that's the interesting thing is, like, even though I was trading back, I wasn't accumulating more picks. I was just getting better picks.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, I mean, you give me these 6 players from the draft class. I don't care that I only had 6 picks.
It's pretty good.
So I'll post these on the Twitter account so you guys can let us know what you think about them over there as well, so you can visually be able to look at them. But if you're here in the YouTube comments, be sure to let us know in the comments how you feel about the draft hauls as well. Certainly like both of them, and I hope that the people in the comments do as well, but let us know who you like more. For people that were listening to this, I'm not so sure that this would have been the best podcast to listen to as opposed to watching it on YouTube. But we appreciate you probably through it. But we appreciate you sticking with us through it if you were doing so. But good stuff, Alan. Glad that we were able to knock this one out. Always have fun doing this. Anything else to add?
No, I think that's about it. Yeah. I had some other stuff, but we're long on time, and we got another one of these tomorrow. So
that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, sources are saying that we will be back for another Steelers Afternoon Drive tomorrow. But until then, Alan, tell the people they can find you.
Saunders _PGH on X, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. PGH Steelers Now is the site's account, SteelersNow.com. Go there and read the words so I can get paid, and check out my article on TJ Watt that created so much discussion on Twitter today and on the Pat McAfee show as well. And then sign up for SN Plus. and we will get you a shout out here on the podcast, like we did to the new members that came in yesterday. And
yeah, we got another name there or no?
No, we do. We have a new name, Nathaniel Heil. Nathaniel Heil joins.
Heil, not Hiles.
Hile, just one Heil.
Okay. All right.
His seat also will do. So we welcome Nathaniel. Appreciate it. I think something I want to do, Smitty, since we just make all our plans for the podcast here on the podcast, I want to get together and do like a live stream for the SN Plus members only. Maybe sometime between now and the draft.
Okay.
So we'll have to make that happen. See if we can get that. So get your signups in before the draft, and we'll see if we can do that. Maybe like, I don't know, sometime next week. We'll see if we can make that happen.
Here's the good thing about saying this while we're recording and it being included in the podcast is like, then the people that are watching or listening are going to hold us accountable. Like if we just throw the idea around, it's like, if it doesn't come to fruition, who's going to know? But you said it and the people have heard it now. So we got to be held accountable for doing so. Shout out to Nathaniel Heil for subscribing to SN Plus. You should do the same. Let us know in the comments if you have done so. Leave us with questions, your thoughts on our mock drafts that we went back and forth on, who you feel like came away with a better haul. If you were listening somewhere else, God bless you. We appreciate you doing that because this certainly did not make for the best podcast. But Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from, we appreciate you doing that. Leave us a 5-star review. Subscribe over there. Just search Steelers Afternoon Drive. Do the same thing over on TikTok, and then you'll find me everywhere. Zachary Smith, PGH. For Alan Saunders and myself, thanks for jumping in. Take another ride on the Steelers Afternoon Drive.